In my book, any app that can provide you with more information about the security of your system is something to use. I haven't talked about security software much on this channel, mainly because it's something that can be kind of a touchy subject, and I don't wish to rattle any cages, but it's time that changed. Today we're going to be taking a look at GlassWire, an incredibly informative firewall software that truly helps you keep an eye on your privacy and security. And just a forewarning, if I look or probably sound a little bit rougher than usual, my car broke down this weekend and I just moved a cat into my apartment, so it's been an incredibly stressful and very hectic past couple days, and I'm also battling a sinus infection. I do apologize. GlassWire is a tool that gives you tons of information and control over your data usage, network connections, and firewall. There's a free version, but I definitely recommend that you actually go for the paid version, as no good security program is free, and there is quite a bit of awesome features limited only to the paid version. But you can at least try out some of the basic monitoring for yourself before you buy. I'll have a special coupon code in the description to help you out if you'd like. Let's take a look at the app running on my main Windows 10 workstation. For the main screen, you have a look at 5 things right up front. First, you have a graph that shows all the network activity from your machine, both upstream and downstream, sorted by type of traffic and the app or service that is pulling the data. Downstream is blue, upstream is pink. At least for my theme, there's a few different skins for the graph itself, but they are separated by different colors. The graph scrolls horizontally in real time with time codes, and it scales based on data rate. You can zoom in or out on the timeline, pause it to inspect specific peaks, and view a history that goes back a long time, depending on which license you buy. The basic license has a 6-month history, the Pro license has a 1-year-long history, and the Elite license has an unlimited history. We'll get into the other differences of the licenses later. You can also take screenshots of the graph at any time. It's pretty neat. You have all the information you could need about what's transmitting data from your machine. This is great overall. It visualizes your network's information for you, actually makes it interesting to look at, and gives you more entry points to care about what's happening on your network, which we need more of these days. Once you know what's going on with your network, you'll want to make some changes. Head over to the Firewall tab. This shows you currently running apps and services, what hosts they're connecting to, upstream and downstream data rates, and then a preview of the graph. You can turn the firewall on or off and enable click to block for individual apps to block them from having network access. You also have the option of making apps ask to connect to external networks or blocking network traffic altogether in their lockdown mode, which can be great if you know that your system's compromised and you need to restrict all network access while you clean it up. Something I wish that I'd honestly had in years past. I really like this, as it gives me much more information and control than other firewall apps I used, and it just generally makes more sense. I've never quite understood why making a decent firewall UI is so hard for most apps, but GlassWire's got it right. The ability to block individual applications is fantastic for directly controlling what your apps do and for limiting ones that you're trying before you're buying. Yeah. As I dug around in the UI, I did have one complaint about it. When I scale up the window to be a more legible size on my ultra high definition display, I can't change or resize the column width, like with normal tables and spreadsheets. Like, I don't understand. But so at any size but the default, things start to look a little janky, as columns that only have like a short burst of information can go very, very wide, and I can't really change it to see the other columns better. I would like this to change. For a more detailed look at the total cumulative data usage, we have the Usage tab. It shows a little chart of how much total data has been used, whether it's outgoing or incoming, and whether it's external or local. Then it sorts by apps, host locations, which is cool for me to see since some of my higher usage hosts are actually local boxes on my network, and then traffic types such as Dropbox LAN sync, Skype protocol, or normal HTTP. Again, you can sort this a couple of different ways and view a history of this information. It's basically the same information as the Graph tab, but focusing on a different side of things. This can be useful to compare to your ISP's data usage meters, and if you have a data cap, it can help keep an eye on your data usage, and maybe argue a case if they say you went over your data cap when you actually didn't. However, keep in mind that this is only measuring the machine that it's installed on, not data usage for your whole network. However, if you only really run one machine, you can kind of understand that if your ISP is reading more data usage, something's on your network that's using up bandwidth other than your main computer. might be worth checking out. The network tab is pretty neat. It shows all of the locally connected devices on your network, that your computer can see at least. It can sort by IP address, MAC address, vendor of the network adapters being used, or when the device was first seen. You can choose to view by DNS name or IP. DNS has the chance to display the network name of the device. For example, my render server is actually called CineformBox on the 10 gigabit connection, and then it shows up as CineformBox.LAN for the normal gigabit connection. But some devices only show their IP address. If you choose the IP address filter, then it only shows the IP address overall. This section is neat to see what you're connected to locally and try to sniff out suspicious devices, but I have quite a few devices that just show up as unknown, including what I know to be my printer and Wi-Fi security camera, and you can't do anything with these devices from this software. There's nothing to click on or ability to change any settings here. It's still great that it shows the information though. But when suddenly my main Windows 10 rig decided to treat my home network as public instead of home or private, and would not even give me the option to change it by normal means, thus cutting off all of my network mounted shares from my render server and NAS drives, it was frustrating to pull this up and have no control here, since Windows 10 networking options are a steaming pile of shit. I don't have any idea if GlassWire's firewall or restrictions somehow changed my network profile, or if Windows 10 is just screwing with me. It could be either, or both, not getting along. I've not seen this to be a common issue in my research, however. When you're using GlassWire, it will pop up alerts in the bottom right-hand corner, alerting you when an app accesses the internet for the first time, or if information about an app has changed, or a change in DNS settings, that kind of thing. The Alerts tab will show you a history of your alerts, sorted by dates, apps, or type. This is very helpful, and nothing's more frustrating than getting a notification from an app when you're not looking at the screen, and then not being able to figure out what that notification actually said. While I love that Windows 8 and Windows 10 integrated notifications into the operating system, this drives me nuts. I'll be in another room, hear the notification jingle, and then never figure out what Windows actually wanted to tell me. Same thing with Malwarebytes sometimes, though they've gotten better about it. A raw list of alerts is the way to go. IMO, so kudos to GlassWire. This software can do a lot, and it can do much more if you pop open the settings and go to security. Here we can disable alerts or enable alerts for a couple really cool ones that I haven't seen in other security apps. Firstly, you have a monitor for network device activity. This would get annoying for me, but could work for others. You can enable while you were away alerts to group up activity when you're detected as idle. You can set a bandwidth cap and a time period and have GlassWire set an alert if your computer goes over that bandwidth amount, so you'd probably want to set it a little lower than your actual cap, just so you know when you're getting close. But my favorite is that there's an alert for when apps or sites access your camera and microphone. This is huge. In my opinion, as the Internet of Things concept starts becoming a reality and all of our computers have cameras and microphones on them, monitoring activity for these devices and general security regarding them goes way too overlooked. While you might get annoyed that being told that everything under the sun accesses your camera and microphone, I think it's really important to have this information readily available. Here in the settings, you can clear your history, disable startup for the app, but if you do, you won't be monitoring your system until you actually open GlassWire yourself. Change the language and graph skin, and set up server connectivity. You can install this on multiple boxes and monitor from all over the place. This is great for server environments or something like a home studio like mine where I have a bunch of computers, but I don't want to go to each and every one of them to actually check on them. If you're wanting to keep an eye on your machine or an entire network, GlassWire does a great job. It tracks network activity better than any app I've used thus far, even Malwarebytes' annoying website alerts option, and it has the most intuitive firewall UI I could ask for. It will cost you a little, but it's reasonably priced in my opinion, and no good security app is free. My main concern is that the program is currently only available for Windows PCs. Their FAQ has a listing of, do you have a Mac, Android, iPhone version? With the answer being, not yet. Should we? And I say yes, 100% yes. I'd also love to see a build for Linux as well. While there's already a lot more security tools available for Linux, the intuitive nature of the UI for GlassWire would still be amazing to have, especially for newer users who are still concerned about security. GlassWire comes in 3 plan tiers, with bulk pricing available for custom quotes. The basic plans include 1 PC coverage with 3 remote connections and a 6-month history view. The Pro plan comes with 3 PCs and lets you see through 1 year of history with 10 remote connections possible. Lastly, the Elite plan covers 10 PCs, unlimited history view, and unlimited remote connections. All of these plans come with the full range of features of the software. You'll still need a formal antivirus to keep yourself safe, but this is perfect for general monitoring and making sure your system is tied up safe. Link to GlassWire will be in the description below, along with a coupon code for my viewers. Even if you don't have the money right now, I definitely recommend putting GlassWire at the top of your list if you're concerned at all about security. My name's been Adam EposVox. If you liked my review of GlassWire's firewall security privacy monitoring software, smash that like button, get subscribed for more awesome tech videos where hopefully my voice is in some better shape, and otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Check out links in the description below to our social media pages where you can catch up on all the latest updates, get some behind the scenes stuff, and some extra hashtag tech tips, and I'll see you later.